Hi, my name is Jordan Wright with Omni Feed and Supply, and I want to talk about something my family really loves to do. Probably my favorite animal of all of the animals that I get to help people raise, and that's chickens. People right now are really starting to look into it because the price of the grocery stores, and so I want to help them out and help you out by an informational video. Where do broiler chickens come from? Broiler chickens actually come from a Plymouth Rock, that's white, Plymouth Rock, and a Cornish, that was a white Cornish. So the male white Cornish has the speed, and then they found that the Plymouth Rock had the body, had the mass that they were looking for, and they crossed them together, and oh my, they hit on this higher vigor gene. They created something crazy. Have you ever played with that sponge in the sink? The one that comes in a capsule, and you throw it in the water and it grows within your eyes. That's what we're going to be raising. Broiler chickens that are going from 0.15 pounds to 7 pounds in 7 weeks. So what are we going to feed these broiler chickens? So if I'm raising broiler chickens for my table, I am going to feed them a 22% chick starter, something around a 22% chick starter. Because if I feed them a 22% chick starter, I don't have to worry about pushing these birds too hard and getting them to grow too fast that their bodies can't keep up with it, their frames can't keep up with it, and they get foot and leg problems, or they have heart attacks, or any of that stuff. That 22% feed is going to get me a 7-pound broiler in 7 weeks. If I'm looking to raise that broiler a little bit longer, some people are, then I need to go a lower protein. I need to go at least a 20% protein at the highest so that I can go and keep these broiler chickens or these Cornish rocks a longer period of time without them blowing out on me and having heart attacks, because they're really designed to be butchered in about 6 to 7 weeks. So we've talked about where they came from. We've talked about what their feed is going to be consistent of. What we really need to talk about now is brooding them and raising them as chicks. So whether you're using a cardboard box, you're using a Rubbermaid tote, a water trough, or a wooden box, we need to make certain that if you have boxed in corners, you have squared off corners, we need to make certain that you're running a piece of cardboard in there. That way that cardboard is going to keep them from ramming in and getting smashed into the corners, because one of the reasons that we're going to find that we lose chicks is heart attacks, is genetic problems with their legs, making them grow too fast, is problems with them getting smashed in the corners, and then also heat lamp problems. So we need to go and we need to get them rounded corners. That way they have something to bounce off and kind of round around if they're going to smash up all in a corner. And you might think, well, Jordan, why would they smash into a corner? When we are raising these chicks and getting these chicks, we're buying them from a hatchery. And you have several different hatcheries, depending on what location you're in the United States. And they're going to get to you in a day olds or in a few day olds. So they're actually going to be yellow. They're going to not have any feathers, and they're not, therefore, going to be able to regulate the body temperature. The way that we're going to regulate their body temperature for them is we're going to use a heat lamp. And we're going to need to find a red heat lamp bulb, usually 250 watt heat lamp bulb, so that we heat their area up to 95 degrees the first week, 90 degrees the second week, 85 degrees the third week, and 80 degrees the fourth week. So when we're putting that heat lamp in there, sometimes we get that heat lamp too low to the brooder box and to the chicks and makes it too hot. Well, those chicks are actually going to get away from that heat lamp because it's too hot for them. And that's when we find that we're going to be smashing chicks into the corners. And that's when you're going to have those problems. So that's why we need to be rounding off. If we have the heat lamp too high and they're too cold, they're going to be huddled in the center. And then when we have it perfect for them, they're going to be right around that ring. And we're actually going to, when we have a heat lamp bulb, see that ring that they're going to be right along in. That's perfect. And then they're going to act like a chicken as far as go between feeders and waters. Which brings me to my next thing. We need to have a chicken feeder and chicken waters, depending on how many chicks you have, how big of an area you have. Maybe you have 2 chicken feeders and 2 chicken waters. But we need to make certain that they're walking between the 2. We can't just let them sit there and drink and then turn their head and eat. Because believe me, these chickens love to eat. If you dropped a 50-pound bag of feed on the floor, they would probably try to get on top of it and eat all 50 pounds. And they love to drink water. So we need to make certain that they're walking between the 2 and getting some exercise. And we are spacing the feeders and the waters out. As they get older, get bigger, you're going to find that they kick the bedding into the waters and the feed. We're going to need to raise them up. Usually I use little concrete blocks to raise them up because at the beginning we're going to use plastic quart jars, or you have metal mason jar bottoms that you can get depending on the store and the location that you're getting. Those are what I would use. So we have the brooder box, right? And I told you that these birds are literally going to grow within your eyes. So how long are they going to be in there? Really, that's going to depend on the bird, the strain of the broiler that you got, and the temperature of the brooder box. Usually, you're going to have broilers in your brooder box for 3 weeks. Those tail feathers are going to come in last, and that's when I like to take my broilers from the brooder box and put them outside. Once those tail feathers start feathering in, usually they're ready to go outside. And we need to make certain that they have around 2 square feet per bird to walk around in their pen. And once we put them out in their pen, by that time, most of the time, you're running out of feed and you're running out of water. You're going to use an adult chicken feeder and adult chicken water, but you're still going to use a 22% protein. That way, your bird just goes and keeps growing. You're going to find out that you have about a 3.2 pound of meat or a pound of food to 1 pound of meat conversion rate on that 22%, and you'll be really, very happy with it. So we're going to raise these chickens, right? Well, we also have to have a place that harvests these chickens, and we sometimes don't want to do that. Me personally, I just call up a processor here in Ohio, or if you're not certain where your processor is or you don't have one, you just search online for chicken processors in your state and find one easily. And those chicken processors are just going to take your chickens and give you back your chicken meat. That's the easiest way. Usually it's at $2.50 a head. And so for $2.50, it's not really worth my time to go and to do it myself and to clean up after myself once I do that. So that's the gist of raising chickens and raising broiler chickens. I really wanted to talk about it because it's something that my family really enjoys doing. If you got something out of this video, I would love for you to like my YouTube page and share my YouTube page. Spread the word so that I have more people to share my knowledge with. And if you have some topic that you'd like me to talk about, nutritional wise and raising animal wise, you want to comment down below. I'd love to take a look at possibly making a video out of that. I hope that you have a nice rest of your day. Bye.